Okay, guys, so this is a tutorial on what we're going to be working on to learn Photoshop and really Photoshop compositions. Down here is a PDF that is in Google Classroom, and this is really the project that we're going to be using to learn Photoshop. So it's a step-by-step project, um, and it's really simply there to teach you how to layer photos onto Photoshop to form a composition. Once you've gone through this project, you should have some foundation, and then you could go ahead and create your own compositions with your own photos that either you take or find and utilize. So this is really just a learning tool. I am simply going to show you the first step on the video, but really you're going to go through this step by step. And if you look at this PDF, it is quite extensive. It is done by a author, an artist right here. His name's Rob DeWinter, and he gave a talk at Adobe's big conference, and he provided this wonderful project. And he's going to do a better job of explaining it than I am. But here it is, basically. So you're going to start on page 8. I would have your Chromebook open with this displayed, and then your iPad in front of you, and just go through step by step. I'll do the first steps with you on the video, and then I'll be there in class. But really, this is your opportunity here. So you're going to create a new document, and then if you look through here, he's got wonderful screenshots, and he literally tells you how to do everything step by step. Okay, so that's what you're using for this. Not necessarily me on this one, but let me show you what we're talking about here. So you're going to open up Photoshop. Photoshop's complicated, but it's amazing. So just be patient and enjoy the process to learn it. I'm going to click the blue button down there. I'm going to get a new file. I'm going to do it by pixels. And what Rob wanted us to do was going to be 2,000 pixels wide and 3,000 tall. Okay, so then just white background, boom, there it is. I'm just going to hit create down below. It's going to pop me up a new blank canvas. Okay, so here we go. The first thing I need to do is put the background image on here. Now I've already downloaded those images onto my camera roll, which I had a short video to show you how to do that. If you haven't done that yet, do that. You're going to need these things. Okay, but if I click the photo, the button, just like Fresco, and go in there and grab my photos, and there's my background image. It fits. How wonderful is that? Because I know I did a 2,000 by 3,000 background. If yours doesn't fit, you could use those corners and just make it fit. And then on the top right here, once I'm all set, I just click done. First step is done. Now this is just the background image, and I'm going to start layering other images in here to make a composition. So I'm just going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to go to photos, and now I'm going to choose my little elephant dude. And here he is. Now I could use my finger and I could drag him around. Make him probably a little bit bigger. And I'm going to stick him right about here. Okay. Now I'm going to click done. And now I have two images on themselves. But as you can see, elephant image is overlapping. I want to cut out, I want to select the elephant only in the elephant image. And the way we do that is I'm going to go up here. I take that back. I'm going to go up here. Okay. And I'm going to select the lasso tool. Okay. So up here on the third one down, I'm going to long press this, and I'm going to get the lasso tool. And I have a couple options here. Now, Rob in his video is going to tell you to use this rectangle tool for the first. He kind of goes through all these tools with you. And with the rectangle tool selected, and I hold my arrow, I hold my my finger or my stylus down, and I kind of draw a rectangle around the subject, and I let go. Adobe is going to think about it, and it's going to select the subject. And as you can see, I got these little marching ants around the elephant, and it did a pretty good job. The whole thing about Adobe is you want to make a selection, and then you're going to always have to clean it up. It's never going to be perfect, but that's pretty solid at the moment. So down below where it says deselect, mask, erase, invert, more, I'm going to select mask, and it's going to make a mask, and it cuts out the elephant. Now we got to do some stuff to fix this mask, because obviously this poor, if I go in here, this it's pretty good, but the poor little guy's tail got cut off. So the way you can do that, once you're in the mask, I'm going to select my brush tool, which is right here on the left. And as you can see, I have a little black and white, and I could flip that back and forth. Okay, so if I have black on, it'll erase the mask. As you can see, I'm erasing the tail. But if I hold that down and I flip it up to white, I could paint the tail back on. Okay, so I'm just painting and mask. Now, obviously, I got some green involved, but I don't mind because I could fix that in a second. Okay, so there it is. So how do you think I'm going to fix that? I'm going to switch back to black. Okay, and now I'm going to click right below that, and I could adjust the size of my brush. So I'm going to shrink my brush down a little bit here. I'm going to make sure I have black, and then I'm going to paint carefully around the tail and kind of erase the parts I don't want on the mask. So I'm just adjusting. So you can do this a couple times, and never, it doesn't have to be perfect either, because we are pretty zoomed in. And when you get to you look, when it's all zoomed out, you're going to notice that can't really tell a lot of this stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to do this kind of quickly here. I'm going to bang this out. I think that's okay for government work. I look back here, and if you look out all zoomed out, that is looking pretty good. Over here on my layers panel, if I see where I pushed on the right there, you could see how now I have an elephant, and then on the little black cutout is the mask. Basically, you can see the part that's cut out. And now I have the beginnings of a composition. If I have this layer selected and I go to my arrow, I can move him around a little bit. Okay, I can make him bigger and smaller as needed, so you're not really stuck. I think it's pretty good right there. Okay, I'm going to do one more just to show you again how this works. But again, the PDF goes through step by step by step, so you're going to follow that PDF. Okay, and we'll do this in class, and I'll be there to help you out. But if you just follow step by step, you're going to enjoy it, and you can kind of learn as you go. Okay, but again, if I want to do this again, I would click the Photos tab. They have you add the trees and the vultures. I think the next step would be to add the mountains in the background. Okay, and away you go. So I think he has. I just click the mountains. You can stick it in there, and you could adjust. So that's basically the process. Okay, click done. Need to make a mask, so that you start with the selection. He's got a couple different ways to do that, and I believe he uses the selection tool for this one. So if I just drag, it does a pretty good job. And I click mask. Now I got mountains down there, and now I gotta feather it and fade it. And he talks about this in there and goes through how to make this happen. So rather than have a 45-minute video, I'm going to stop here. But you could see that it's just a matter of going through the steps slowly. Look at that PDF. I'm going to be there to help you out. You don't have to start this early, but do try to have these pictures onto your iPad, and you will see really how much fun this can be. To give you an idea what it's going to look like when you're all said and done, here's the finished or the finished product. You kind of have this kind of cool looking composition with a bunch of things feathered in there, and we add a tree, we add a vulture, we add the mountains in the background, we add some text, you know, and it's just really pretty amazing. For the text, if you don't have the fonts, don't worry about it. That's not the end of the world. Then you're gonna have an opportunity after you're done with this tutorial to create your own, which is super fun. All right, so listen, I'll see you on Friday. Hope you have a good time with this. And again, Photoshop's complicated, so just take your time and enjoy it, and we'll get there. All right. See you Friday.